When Barbara Walters interviews Santa and he's like, I'm just getting my voice ready to talk to you right now, Barbara.
I'm Barbara Walters. Welcome to 2020.
So you say you're Barbara and I say I'm Santa? We're all getting ready here?
Why are you turning into Mr. T?
Yeah.
All right. That's a new feature.
A true howl.
I just ate 10 cookies.
You are hopped up on sugar. Wow. Well, welcome back to the BeatiDudes, a podcast for men, Christian men seeking to grow in holiness and humor with one another as they seek to serve the Lord. We are here back for another bonus episode, this time joined by John Heinen, and we are talking about the Catholic gentleman with an A. We are talking about Fusati marketing, all kinds of stuff. So,
Hey, Paul, if I may,
yeah,
who are you?
my name is Paul Kolker.
Hey, Jeff.
What?
Yes.
Who are you?
I am Jeff Shelfine. Hey, Nick. Who are you?
I am Nick Besner. What's going on?
What's going on?
Wow, that was a
Howdy.
very organic way to introduce each other. Let's do that every
I
time.
love it.
And we are the...
BeatiDudes.
Dudes. Oh,
All right. So smooth, John.
Yes. So,
Speaking of smooth, you were a professional trumpet player.
This is a great transition.
Thank
Thanks.
you. No,
Jeff's known for that.
I'm great at it. John, when you were a professional trumpet player, what was it? Tell me what that even entails. Like, I can't even picture this life you led.
Yeah, so that was what I was planning on doing. I did my undergrad at TCU, and then I did my master's at Yale, and then I decided I wanted to...
Did you get a master's in trumpet at Yale?
Master's music, trumpet performance, And so...
Told you he was smart.
So the plan was to play professionally in a symphony orchestra. I toured in Italy with the jazz ensemble. I toured in Germany with brass quintet. And then the story in show prep that we were talking about, I played trumpet for the Beijing Olympics in 2008. Wow. So,
What?
Yeah, it was fun. We got, it was fun. And then, dun, dun, dun.
It wasn't.
Fun till it wasn't.
Yeah, and I ended up getting a bug bite while I was over there and turned into a brain encephalitis, which is a brain virus. And apparently those can put you into a coma, which it did.
You did that.
I did that. I know. I'm
Oh my
here
goodness.
today to tell the story. So
Wow.
yeah. So I.
How long were you in a coma?
Yeah. So it was 3 days. They say a comatose state. I was living in a studio apartment by myself there in New Haven, Connecticut, and actually the Catholic community center guard, who I wasn't Catholic, but I had made friends with, actually, because he was a striving jazz trumpet player, and that's what I was getting my degree in. And so, great guy. And anyways, he got the landlord to open the door, carried me out.
Wait. So you went into a coma by
myself.
yourself?
Yeah. For 3 days.
Thanks be to God for this guy.
Well, yeah, it's Greg. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's the one who brought me out, and I woke up briefly. The only thing I can remember is I was in an ambulance. And then the next thing I remember, the next morning, my parents were in the neuro ICU with like huge masks on because they didn't know what brain virus I was injected with, or
Oh my
I
goodness.
could affect other people.
Did somebody inject you with the virus?
A bug did.
Oh, a bug did. Sorry. I was like getting my story mixed up. You're like, whoa, were you?
it's a different kind of mugging.
Do they have those kind of bugs in the United States? Like, could that happen?
So no,
Okay.
they do not.
Okay.
And I was the only person in the Western world with my documented case of this
Wow.
encephalitis.
Wow.
And so, yeah, so unique. I'm sure they have it in China, but over in China, they're not really good at keeping medical records and sharing them with the rest of the world. So that was that.
What is
And-
your next memory after seeing your parents?
Yeah, so my next memory after seeing my parents, well, I remember the time in the hospital. I was there for about 12 days, and I remember ins and out. I had 5 world-leading doctors. Actually, here's the next memory. This is a great one. I had 5 lumbar punctures and trying to get spinal fluid out and things like that. They wanted to open up my skull to figure out, like, what does this guy have? And one of my 5 doctors was a Catholic, world-leading doctor of meningitis, Dr. Quagliarello, who was a devout Catholic. And because I knew he was a Catholic behind closed doors, I was like, should I let them open up my brain? Like, is this? And he was like, Absolutely not. He was like, John, you are a publication for every single doctor here, every single student that is studying you. And I would never let somebody cut open my brain unless they had very legitimate reasons to save your life. But they just want to explore and take a look at this. And so he was like, I would never do that. And I was like, oh. And that was a huge, huge grace-filled moment. It was a huge grace-filled moment because I was on the edge. I mean, I was in a coma, and I was like, do I have to go through brain surgery? You know, do they have to? So anyways, but thanks be to God for a Catholic doctor who was willing to tell me straight, don't do that. And that was in 2008. So here we are, 2023.
I have no words for that.
It's crazy. God's will, right? I mean, His grace. I was blown away by how many people were praying for me. Yeah. That was really beautiful. Actually, that was a really kind of coming around sort of moment. People that I hadn't talked to for 6 years that graduated with in high school and everything, sending me messages or notes and things like that. It was beautiful the amount of people brought to prayer because of that difficulty in my life. So
I think those times too, it's interesting because it's not people that are like, well, is he Catholic? Like, let's make sure that we're praying for him if he's Catholic. It's every person of prayer coming together.
That's right.
In their faith and love, trying to pour out prayers of intercession.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't mean to one-up your story here, but
I want to hear it.
As a kid, I once had far too many Flintstone vitamins.
How'd that work out?
I had a stomach ache.
Yeah. Sorry, Paul.
No, I mean, how do you even have a story based on? I mean, that is amazing in such a providential way.
What's the recovery on that? Is it you get some medicine and you start to feel better?
Yeah, so they gave me 3 antibiotics intravenously pumped into me. My body basically healed itself. So since it was a virus, all these antibiotics were not really doing much. And so, and then I lost my sense of smell for about 9 months. And I had kind of like this vertigo situation. That took a little while to come back. My sense of smell never fully came back. And then I had to go through MRIs and things like that after the fact. But thanks be to God, that's been it. Not really much residual at all.
I got to tell you, I had a niece that had an aneurysm when she was 11, which the kind of aneurysm she had was not the kind that kids have. It was the kind that adults die from. And actually being her age helped her to live through the first part because her brain was hyperactive. But then the hyperactivity of an 11-year-old's brain actually made the recovery much worse because her brain, to save itself, started pulling everything away from all the extremities. So 48 hours into this, probably not even 48 hours, she had her brain surgery, and this guy saved her life. He clamped everything together. She spoke 3 words, and then she went into basically the equivalent of a coma for a month where they had to test her vitals. It wasn't a full-blown coma, but she also wasn't aware of anything. They had to test her vitals every 30 to 45 minutes. I was there when they rushed her off for another brain surgery, some angiograms, angioplasties. Then they removed her skull because there was so much swelling, and her body, it just changed. It looked very different. And we went into a 24-hour cycle of us with her for what ended up being 5.5 months. I was in the first month shift in the ICU. But I bring it up because what was so fascinating is somebody would walk into the ICU with a collar on, and somebody would be like, Jeff, this priest is here. And I'm like, I've never seen this guy. And it would be an Anglican priest. Or somebody that I hadn't spoken to since college would send stuff from, she worked for NASA. So she would send like this get well package from NASA to the room, knowing an 11-year-old would love to have that. So it was just like watching this like beautiful movement of people praying and taking care of. And, one of my friends was like, I'm going to pay for somebody to go clean your brother and sister-in-law's house so that they don't have to clean their house. Other people were going to watch my other niece play volleyball so that she'd have somebody cheering in the stands. Like all these things that just move you, that people come together. So beautiful. I know your family had to experience the same.
Yeah, sure did. Amen. So, and played trumpet professionally all the way up until last year.
So you were able to get right back on the trumpet after that.
I did. I actually had an audition for the Freiburg Hochschule für Musik in Germany.
Sorry, one more time?
Yeah, I know, right?
Because the words that you say.
Things that come out of my mouth. I should have brought my trumpet.
Should have brought a dictionary.
That'd be for me and you, Jeff.
So the School of Music in Freiburg, Germany. I had an audition like 4 weeks after this whole, I mean, I could have canceled it, but I went forward with it. I got accepted, but then I decided not to go because I didn't get a scholarship, so I didn't want to go into debt.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
it's also why I didn't go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you ever go back to China?
I did.
Oh my goodness.
I went to find that bug.
Oh, my mom is gonna love this. So the next year there was a orchestra that was playing Bach's B minor Mass. They were from Manhattan and they wanted to take me. Well, they didn't want to. They hired me to go play trumpet on Bach's B minor Mass throughout Korea and China. And my mom, it was about this time of year actually, because my mom was like, John, for Mother's Day, don't go back to China.
Oh my gosh.
That's all I want is you not to go back to China. And I was like, Mom, I'm the only person in the world that has my case. I'll be fine. I got bug spray now and I'm good to go. And I went back to China, but I was a kid without a wife or children. And so,
Wow.
but I did.
God bless your mom.
Yeah, I know.
3 bottles of off.
I did. I had a lot lotion, off lotion.
Your mom like knocked years off of purgatory just praying for you.
She did. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we would love. Is there a place that people can go and watch a video of you playing? Is it on the Catholic Gentleman?
No, not on the Catholic
We need to
Gentleman.
put one up there.
Yeah, Richardson Symphony Orchestra. They used to have a couple. Yeah, I think that's about it.
We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
I think it's time you send us a clip, and we'll just. You might not be professional anymore from a part where you're doing it like full time,
Yeah,
but
right.
I don't think you ever are not a professional trumpeter
That's true. It's still
after you've been one. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
there you go.
Well, good. Well, I'm gonna. Speaking of professionals, we're gonna have the professional improv comedian here, Paul Kolker, who performs with Divine Comedy and with 4-Day Weekend.
That's right.
Set us up for a game, Nick.
Blessed are the joke makers, for they shall inherit the points.
They're going to.
How
This
many
is-
points?
Actually, it's 68 points.
There it is.
Yep.
68 points.
Yep.
That's
And you're
right.
actually playing this time, John.
Oh,
so
okay, I get to play.
I don't know how that feels. If you
Feels
weren't
good.
sweating
I'm
from the
prepared.
heat, you're going to be sweating from something else.
That's right. So we have a character card and a card that we have to
Something else.
Something else.
You're going to be sweating from something else.
Fear.
fear.
Oh, that's what it
anxiety,
is. Yeah.
tension.
Anxiety.
Yeah. Okay, good.
How many synonyms do you want me to?
It's the something else.
It's the bug flying around in here.
Oh gosh, yeah, yeah. We
Sorry,
just
too
not
soon.
funny.
wow.
Funny,
Too
John.
soon, not funny.
I'm getting my brain focused.
Phew. Okay, well, following all that, we've got a character card and a card that we have to respond to as the character. So our character card is as Santa Claus. We were taught about blank in religious ed as kids.
Well, of course, the reindeer was the first and most important animal at the nativity.
Nice. As children, we were taught about jelly, and we were taught about bowls, and we were taught later in life about bowls full of jelly.
I was not in that religious education class.
We were taught about separating people into two very distinct categories and never giving them a chance out of the one or the other. Just naughty or nice.
That actually is what my
Wow.
CCD was like.
That makes so much sense.
I know. I'm okay. So things that I don't practice on a daily basis.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Ho ho! So had to prepare myself with that one. So when we were taught in religious education class that sheep were in fact not made out of cotton balls, but we had to make them anyways.
I like that your Santa talks to him. So I'm just preparing myself to talk here.
A little bit of Sean Connery in there, I think. Too.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Oh, yes.
007.
68 points to John Heinen, I
think
believe.
so.
Yes.
Take it. Take
All
it.
right, buddy. When Barbara Walters interviews Santa and he's like, I'm just getting my voice ready to talk to you right now, Barbara.
I love it.
Barbara Walters. Welcome to 2020.
So you say you're Barbara and I say I'm Santa? We're all getting ready here?
Why are you turning into Mr. T?
Dude, is there
From
a difference?
Australia.
Is there a difference?
Touche.
They're both out to help you.
And they pity the naughty fools.
Amazing.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
John, let's remind everybody how they can find you. TheCatholicGentleman.com. Is that right?
It's
Like
so
the
weird.
emphasis on that.
That's
I think-
ridiculous. The Catholic Gentleman.
Is
Yeah,
it the
I'm-
or no?
No, there's no the. It's just Catholic
Gosh!
Gentleman.
All wrong.
CatholicGentleman.com.
Start over. You
I-
do it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we own Catholic Gentlemen as well.
You
so
better.
If you type in, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm the marketer.
We're trying to own BeatiDudes, but it's really hard to get.
So CatholicGentleman.com, you can see everything we do. You can follow us on any of our social media pages or podcasts. We're on every, major, just, hey, after you're done looking for them, jump over and look for Catholic Gentleman on Podcast Player. You can find it there. So.
And then if there's groups out there that are interested in learning more about Fusati or getting involved, what's a good client kind of profile for you on Fusati marketing?
Yeah, that's a great question. I actually appreciate you asking that. So basically, if you're around 300K in revenue a year or more, you're a great client. And not that we don't want to work with others, but if I'm being honest with you, it wouldn't be a good use of your money to outsource your marketing and your business operations and things like that. You need to get a coach, an individual who can kind of guide those things. And so, that if you're looking for that, if you're in the Catholic space, great. Devout Catholic business owner looking for help. Look at Fusati.com.
I think I might buy devoutcatholicbusinessowner.com just while we're doing all this. And when you pointed at me, was it because I'm a good coach for people that are maybe making $300 million? That's about where I come in, because now you can afford the coaching.
Your rates have gone up.
That's right.
You know my mantra?
Yeah.
Raise them. Raise them right. I'm talking about rates and
right.
kids and Santa Claus and
Yep.
all right.
Mr. T.
And Mr. T. I pity the fool. All right. John, thank you, brother.
What a blessing. I'm so grateful.
Keep
to
up
be
the great work. Keep forming great men. And tell me the saint slogan again.
The saints. Be a man, be a saint.
Be a man, be a saint. All right, men and women who make amazing baked goods. If you watched the show before this, we love you all. We're praying for you, and we'll see you in the Eucharist. God bless. Dang.
Try again.
This podcast is part of the Spoke Street Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.